Hi, this is Dr. Richard Schulman with continuing thoughts for all you dreamwalkers out there. Okay, I was thinking today about the issue of grief. You know, anytime you sign up for a relationship, essentially, you sign up for grief. Think about it. Let's say a couple is married for 70 years and they don't have one bad day. Unless they died together in a plane wreck, which would be tragic in and of itself, one of them has to die first. In any event, the relationship ends. So, from a certain point of view, all relationships begin and end with separation. I mean, you come down the birth canal, you're separating from your mother. Okay, with that in mind, Elizabeth Kubler Ross was famous for her thoughts about grief and a grief process. Okay, what does that mean from a practical point of view? Well, we start with shock and denial. Then there's anger, bargaining, sadness, and acceptance. Well, what do these things mean? Number one, they don't come in neat packages. People bounce around between uh, bargaining, woulda, shoulda, coulda, anger, and sometimes it's hard to be angry, but somebody who dies has left you. Okay, um, and because people don't understand that these feelings and emotions bounce around, they think they're done with it and then they hit, maybe more anger and they have to deal with it again. In any event, grief is about the poignancy of human relationships because nothing is permanent, as we've seen in our journey together. Grief lets us know that we've loved someone. So, there was several years ago, there was a study, a big psychological study with several thousand participants. And what they found was that what every major spiritual path already knows normal grief takes about a year. Why? From my point of view, as a clinical psychologist who's been doing psychotherapy for many, many years, there's something about that first year. You have to run into birthdays, anniversaries, holidays without your loved one. And there's a tremendous crash when that happens. So it's the first Christmas without your loved one, the first birthday, the first anniversary. Uh, could be anything. Hearing your favorite song for the first time without your loved one that brings this up. Now, grief could be about any major loss, doesn't have to be a death. For example, talk to someone who's been divorced, and very often they'll say, it feels like a death. Well, it does. And sometimes, in some ways, it's harder because the person that you're missing is still alive, but you can't have them, you can't connect with them. So, normal grief is about a year and has a bunch of different things that you have to process in order to have acceptance. Now, there are some things that are much harder than others. Losing a child, for example, is probably the hardest thing that I've ever seen as a psychotherapist, and I don't really know how people get through it. I'd probably crawl up in a ball and never come out. And there are some people who do that. My sense of losing a child is I can give you pie in the sky about, they're in a better place, and, that's just garbage. Um, I don't think people really ever get completely over it. It's not in our DNA. We're not wired to bury our children. However, that being said, I think we can soften the experience considerably. People will have dreams of loved ones coming to them. I've had many such dreams. My parents came to me, both of them right at the moment of death, and then later on to bring messages. And I don't discount the idea that they really were there. Um, my favorite story is about my cousin who died at the World Trade Center, who came to me later begging me to tell his mother, my aunt, that he was okay. And by the way, he looked terrific. He had all his hair back. And he was as real as me sitting across the room from any live person. But he was dead, and it was sort of a waking dream that I had when he came to me. In any event, grief is healthy, even if it feels like hell. It's a healthy, normal process by which we move through losses in our life. If you have questions, email me at dr.richardschulman@yahoo.com. I'll answer them if I can. And all you dreamwalkers out there, have a great day and peace out.